The most exciting thing when it comes to new Mario games is obviously the power-ups. And with Super Mario Bros. Wonder, this is no different. So far, we have seen 6 power-ups coming to Super Mario Bros. Wonder. The Super Mushroom, which makes Mario bigger and more stronger. The Fire Flower, which allows you to throw fireballs at enemies. The Super Star, which makes you invincible for a short period of time. The Elephant Fruit, which turns characters into elephants and allows them to defeat enemies with their trunk, store water in their trunk for later use, and dash through 2 wide gaps. The Bubble Flower, which allows you to create bubbles that home in on enemies and can be used as platforms. And the Drill Mushroom, which allows you to burrow into the ground, the ceiling, and prevents enemies from attacking you head on. Obviously, I don't think this is going to be the only power-ups we see in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, as when it comes to every other Mario game, there seems to be some hidden ones that we don't know of from the start. Today, I thought it would be fun to come up with ideas for power-ups that I think we could see in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, whether it be new power-ups or returning power-ups from past Mario games. With that being said, I'm the biggest nub on YouTube, Christendo, and this is 50 power-ups we could see in Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Starting off our list with number 1, we have the Cloud Flower, and with this power-up, you'll be able to create up to 3 cloud platforms at a time, and it makes your jumps floatier than usual. Number 2 is the Hammer Suit, which allows you to throw hammers that can break brick blocks. Number 3, we have the Ice Flower, which allows you to freeze enemies in a block of ice that you could use as an extra platform or just to straight up defeat them. Number 4 is the Poison Mushroom, and this is a power down that can show up in Wonder effects that will shrink you down and make it so you can't defeat enemies without ground pounding. This would basically act similar to a mini mushroom, but you wouldn't have the floaty jump. On the topic of that power-up, number 5, we have the mini mushroom, which will shrink you down and make your jumps floatier. Of course, with the sacrifice of having to ground pound to defeat enemies. Number 6 is the Super Hammer, which lets you create up to 5 blocks that you can place on the ground or liquids, and also allows you to break solid blocks with the hammer. With number 7, we have the Boomerang Flower, which lets you throw a boomerang to activate switches, break blocks, and defeat enemies. Number 8 is the Water Flower, which allows you to throw balls of water that would stun or knock back enemies, and if you charge up the power-up, you'll be able to create a wave of water that you can ride and that will defeat enemies, and this power-up would also make traversing water a bit easier. Number 9 is the Invincibility Flower, which will be given in a box at the beginning of a level when you fail to complete a level a certain amount of times, and this will make you invincible but unable to use other power-ups when playing the level. With number 10, we have the Mystery Flower, which is another Wonder Effect power-up, and this one will grant you a random power-up or power down. And with number 11, we have the Pal Pill, which will create 4 small 8-bit versions of your characters that will help you attack enemies, but they will disappear if they get hit. Moving on to number 12, we have the Metal Cap, which turns you temporarily metal and makes you invincible to enemy attacks at the sacrifice of jump height. And number 13, we have the Weird Mushroom, which is another Wonder Effect power-up that transforms your character into a tall, skinny form with a higher jump and no retraction. With number 14, we have the Shell, which attaches to your back and will make you roll around in the shell when you sprint and will allow you to use the shell as protection when you crouch. And number 15, we have the Ink Flower, which allows you to shoot ink at enemies that will cause them to temporarily be stuck in place. Moving on to number 16, we have the Penguin Fruit. This one will turn characters into penguins and let them swim much faster in water and also shoot ice. Essentially, this is the penguin suit from the new Super Mario Bros. Series, but since Super Mario Bros. Wonder is transforming characters into these animals, I just figured in this game we'd make it a transformation fruit. While we're on the topic of new Super Mario Bros., number 17 is the Propeller Mushroom, and this one will give you the ability to fly in the air by using the propeller suit. Number 18 is the Goomba Mask, which is a mask that you would wear over your current power-up that can be used to make enemies neutral towards you. And number 19 is the Boom Mushroom, which turns you into a ghost temporarily, similar to how you would if you died. However, instead of being dead, it would allow you to fly around and maybe reach higher up areas you wouldn't be able to otherwise. The Vanish Cap is going to be number 20, and this one turns you invisible to enemies where they wouldn't be able to see or attack you. And with this one, you would be able to phase through blocks. The Cape Feather is number 21, and this one will allow you to build up speed to fly and also allow you to slowly glide down. And you would also create a shockwave effect if you come crashing down to the ground. I'm just a huge fan of Super Mario World, so I would love to see this one return in Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Moving on to another vertical based power-up, we have the Super Leaf at 22 that kind of acts similar to the Cape Feather, but you can continue to fly repeatedly by pressing the button, and you can also hit enemies with a tail whip. At number 23, we have another transformation power-up with the Cat Fruit, which will allow them to pounce at enemies and climb up semi-solids. Again, similar to the Super Bell from Super Mario 3D World, but instead transforms characters into the animal. With number 24, we have the opposite of the Mini Mushroom with the Mega Mushroom, and this one will temporarily make characters big and allow them to destroy anything in their path. And number 25 is another classic power-up being the Super Ball Flower, which acts similar to the Fire Flower, except for the fact that the Super Balls would bounce around until they disappear or come in contact with an enemy. This one hasn't returned in any Mario game since Super Mario Land up until Mario Maker, and I would just love to see this one return in a 2D Mario game. While number 26 may have not shown up in a 2D Mario game yet, I think the Double Cherry would be such a cool one to have in a Wonder mode. This one would create clones of characters and you would be able to use them to attack enemies, and obviously if the clones do get attacked, they would disappear. Moving on to number 27, we have the Spring Mushroom from Super Mario Galaxy. This one would be a Wonder Effect power-up that puts you in a spring, causing you to jump every time you move and allowing you to jump higher than usual. Number 28 would be the Bullet Mask, which will allow you to temporarily fly horizontally through the level, with you also being able to break blocks in your path. Number 29 is another one that goes on your head, being the Coin Box, and this one just grants you coins every time you move until you either take damage or until you collect 100 coins. While on the topic of semi-wearable power-ups, we have the Dry Bones shell at number 30, and this is a shell you wear that allows you to float across lava and also allows you to play dead temporarily to be invincible. With number 31, we have the Light Box, and I promise you this is the last wearable power-up for a while. Essentially, this is just a box that you wear that makes it easier to see in dark levels. Moving on to number 32, we have the P-Wing, and this one fills your P meter for the entirety of a level, making it so you run a bit faster, can jump higher, and more easily use power-ups that require for the meter to be filled, such as the Cape Feather or the Tanuki Leaf. With number 33, we have the Power Balloon, which is a Wonder Effect power-up that inflates characters, making it so they can float. Basically, this is the tubular power-up that we see in the Mario Wonder Direct. With number 34, we have the Rock Mushroom, and this one makes it so that characters can transform into a rock and roll into enemies and blocks to destroy them. With number 35, we have the final transformation fruit, being the Bee Fruit, and this one turns characters into bees and allows them to go into tiny gaps, sting enemies, temporarily fly, and to pollinate talking flowers to be rewarded coins. With number 36, we have another classic power-up with the Wing Cap, and this one gives players wing that will activate after doing 3 consecutive jumps, and it will control similar to the Cape Feather. Number 37 is the new power-up being the Luma, and while I think Super Mario Galaxy is cringe, I think this one would be kinda cool as it would grant characters the ability to do a spin jump that could be used to defeat nearby enemies. This one could also be a badge in the game, but I think just having it in power-up form as well would be pretty sick. With number 38, we have the Gravity Mushroom, which is a Wonder Effect power-up that allows you to change the gravity while in the effect. Number 39, we have the Big Mushroom, and this one is a Wonder Effect power-up that makes characters bigger than they would be with the Super Mushroom, and it allows you to destroy solid blocks, destroy blocks by dashing into them, and being able to be hit by enemies a few times before losing the power-up. The downside with this one though is whenever you jump, a few enemies would rain down around you. And for number 40, we have the Boost Star, and basically if you die enough times in a level, the star will appear in a block and it would teleport you to the end of the level. With the next 5, I wanted to give the Yoshis a little bit more love, as it seems like they don't have any power-ups in the game. So starting off, we have the Yoshi Wings at number 41, and this one gives Yoshi wings that allow him to temporarily fly after building up the P meter. With number 42, we have the Fire Fruit, that gives Yoshi the ability to shoot fireballs from his mouth, and with number 43, we have the Dash Fruit, which makes Yoshi run even faster than before, and allows him to ram through blocks with the dash. With number 44, we have the Bulb Fruit, which makes Yoshi glow, allowing for dark levels to be more easily seen in. And number 45, we have the Blimp Fruit, which is essentially the P Balloon for Yoshi. I just thought I'd add this one because I want Big Yoshi to be canon in the Super Mario universe. For the final 5, I decided I would take inspiration from outside the Mario universe and incorporate powers from other Nintendo franchises. Do I think this is going to happen in Super Mario Bros. Wonder? Most likely not, but it seems like anything is possible with this game, so I figured why not. Starting off with number 46, we have the Master Sword, and this turns you into Link and allows you to throw bombs, dash with the Master Sword, crouch to activate your shield, and throw boomerangs. Basically, it would control how it does in Super Mario Maker 2. With number 47, we have a Metroid, which turns you into Samus and makes it so that you are able to defeat enemies with a blaster. Number 48 is Mr. Saturn. This one turns you into Ness and allows you to use PK Fire, PK Freeze, and PK Thunder with different button inputs. Number 49 is the Banana, which turns you into Donkey Kong and allows you to roll through enemies and create shockwaves by smacking the ground. And finally, with number 50, we have the Maximum Tomato, which turns you into Kirby and allows you to inhale enemies and spit them back out to defeat other enemies. And that is 50 power-up ideas for Super Mario Bros. Wonder. What did you think of my list? Do you wish I had a power-up that instantly kills you and crashes your game, and also resets your progress in the game, making you start from the beginning? Let me know in the comments below. While the wait for Super Mario Bros. Wonder is coming close to over, I just feel the wait for the game is still way too long. I am super excited for this game, and I know a bunch of you are as well, so please let me know if you have any other videos you want me to cover before the game launches. If you made it this far into the video, obviously you enjoyed it, so if you haven't yet, consider giving the video a like and subscribing to the channel, as it helps out a ton. If you want to see another video made by me, there's a video on screen now where I cover all the information we know about Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and let me tell you, that direct was insane. Now with that being said, I'm the biggest nub on YouTube, Cristendo, signing off, and I hope you have an amazing day.